Welcome back to Screamers. I'm Jessie, here in the studio as always with Maya and Honor, drying off from a rain-soaked weekend of WSL action. This week we're catching up on all the latest games and we're going to get stuck into the Ballon d'Or discourse. But first, we've got some very exciting news, don't we, Maya?
We have some very exciting news. We have been shortlisted for Best Sports Podcast at the Independent Podcast Awards.
We're legit. We're actually legit
I know,
now.
we actually can't believe it. It seems a bit ridiculous that our little podcast that we started at, was it the Pembury Tavern?
Yeah. Over a couple of pints.
Is now one of 8 podcasts shortlisted for Best Sports Podcast.
That's amazing.
Thanks everyone for continuing to listen. Also, shout out to Suki, whose amazing artwork has also got us a nomination for Best Podcast Artwork. Very exciting. I think that will be announced in October, won't it?
15th of October.
We're going to a fancy awards ceremony.
Well,
Jessie might not be.
Jessie might be working in the north.
I might be getting rained on in Newcastle. We will see.
So week 2 of the WSL season is wrapped up and we're getting a bit more of an idea about what teams have to offer, or in
just a big
in
fluke.
some cases what they don't have to offer. Jessie and I can probably relate to each other pretty hard on that one. I was at the Chigwell Construction Stadium on Friday night for the West Ham Arsenal game.
No finer place to spend a Friday night than the rain in
finer
Dagenham.
place. Yeah, if you can't do it on a rainy night in Dagenham, then
You can't do it anywhere.
yeah, well, I guess Arsenal could. So shall we move on?
And that's that game. Let's swiftly go ahead. I felt so sorry for you when it was shitting it down.
Oh my
I was like,
God,
oh,
yeah.
I hope you're undercover.
Oh yeah, we were undercover, so it's okay. But the football hurt me more than anything.
Actually, I thought West Ham played quite well when it was shitting it down. Rianne should have got on the
Yeah.
phone and got some people with like giant hoses to come and like shoot it over the stadium in the second half, because once it dried out, you looked really bad.
It was just getting worse and worse, I guess. Quite horrible to see our attacking players have no control of the ball. Say's first touch ending up on Mars, like my head.
I think that went to Romford at one point.
Honestly, Martinez as well. Iweki couldn't really do anything. No one could do anything.
I thought Zadorsky had a pretty all right game.
Yeah, you know what? Like,
It's
let's-
damning with faint praise if I've ever heard it.
let's give Zadorsky that. I think Honor Siren as well had a good game, and
yeah.
she impressed me against Spurs as well. But
Yeah.
she is genuinely the only one.
Yeah.
No, I would agree with you. I thought Zadorsky was good.
Yeah,
I think he's been
Zadorsky was
good
I
in
thought
both
so.
games.
Yeah, and then from an Arsenal point of view, we had a few changes. Sorry to move it along from West Ham, but
It's all right. I think it's probably best for Honor's mental health. We
I'm
don't dwell too
fine.
much. I'm great.
we had Marnham and Mead starting. I think Kelly had a bit of a knock in training.
Really glad that I captained her on Fancy WSL this week.
I don't think you were the only one.
Brilliant.
And Blackstenius is quite an early sub on at half time for Marnham.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just that we haven't seen her play in maybe a couple of weeks so it feels fresh. But it feels like Stina's general like ball control has got so much better this season.
She's looked so much more clinical. Like she's always kind of been the wild card and you never quite know what she's going to do, but she does seem to be much more clinical this season.
And not the finishing, but like the general the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
touch is so much better than I remember it being last season.
I agree, yeah. A really sad sad for Daphne Van Domselaar mistake. It was
quite funny for
Yeah.
I
everyone
found
else.
that- I found that
such
very
a
funny.
fluff, such a fluff.
I was like, was it slippy? Did she forget where the post was? I couldn't really figure out. It felt like such a...
I think it looked slippy. I mean, it was, I don't know.
Someone on comms was saying, like when I watched it back, saying that I didn't watch the whole game back, by the way. I'm not like,
Loved it that much.
I don't hate myself that much. But when I watched the highlights, they were saying that it looked like she was just like thinking one step ahead about what she was going to do next, because it was such an easy catch that she wasn't even thinking about the catch, just thinking about the next thing, which obviously
Switched off.
off.
I was really hoping it was going to get given as a Shakira Martinez goal, and then like I think the fact that it like hit off Daphne into the goal.
It was a big
Yeah.
own goal, wasn't it?
But it's also quite nice that she's got her weird own goal being hit off the back of her out the way early in the season, because she had one last season too as well, didn't she?
Yeah, exactly. And also this one in the end didn't account really to anything.
I thought Russo was fantastic.
She was, I mean, actually I want to talk about her later, but yeah, she was like phenomenal.
Yeah.
And actually I thought we were talking about Arsenal's depth and how it's been building, and it was really evident in that game, given that we had a few changes in our starting 11 and we had a few different subs this week. She talked about the depth of the squad as well in her post-match interview, and I think it's really interesting thinking about how Arsenal haven't had that depth for the last few seasons. Kind of, we were talking about how are they going to manage that with people's minutes and things, but it's obvious from what she was saying in her interview that that is a huge part of the culture of the team, that they understand that that's how it's going to work. And she was talking about that, and I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, it just felt like there was a fluidity between the attack that I think sometimes when you do have that depth and then you have the ability to change who's starting and who's coming on from game to game, you sometimes lose a little bit of that connection, but it didn't feel like that was lost at all.
No, there are so many good partnerships. Every time we switch, it seems like there's another new good partnership. Exactly. So I thought that was, as an Arsenal fan, I was very happy.
How about what's your view on the Kyra Cooney-Cross leaving out, as lots of fans seem to be upset about her not being included or, well, getting any minutes at all? Because obviously before the season, there was a lot about like Renee saying that she was going to be a big part of this and Kyra saying that it's Kyra's shirt to take, but we're not seeing any of that so far.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. So I'd preface anything we say about Kyra Cooney-Cross by saying that we don't necessarily know what's going on. But if there is nothing going on, then, I mean, you both know that I think she's a fantastic player. And I think when she came on last year, she made an impact. Again, she didn't actually get that many minutes last season, dwindling towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised by, given that Palova was out for such a long time.
I mean, not to obviously, we are not in Arsenal training sessions week in, week out, but usually that kind of thing where a player, when they come on, they perform well, but they don't seem to get the minutes is because they're maybe not showing something in training, like whether it's not picking up on like, and it's not necessarily like an effort thing, but sometimes like things are communicated by coaches that players just don't do. And like to a certain extent, I think that can hold people up. But then, you know, all the pre-season games are behind closed doors.
Yeah,
something could have happened and they're playing it close to their chest because like managers tend to do that. Emma Hayes has sort of set that example for the rest of the league, that you never really reveal what's happening with any of your players. I think if we don't see her when the Champions League kicks up and the cups
and the cups, I agree.
And there's no rotation that includes her in a meaningful way, I think then is a time to be like.
It's really interesting because also she did that interview only a few weeks before the season started about how she was really excited to challenge for a place in the starting 11 and all that kind of thing. So it kind of feels like, I don't know, it feels like she had an expectation to be playing. So I don't know necessarily what's gone on there.
I mean, we want to watch. The other Friday night game was Man City versus Brighton. Ended 2-1 to City in the end. Had to come back after going a goal down to Frank Kirby rolling back the ears with a very lovely. It was a brilliant team move. It was like Kirby played in Michelle Adjuman, who had a shot that was deflected, but then it was like Brighton were attacking in such numbers every single time that they had like 2 or 3 players in there to recycle it. And then Kirby like slotted it away. I thought Brighton were brilliant in the first sort of half.
To be honest, I've only seen bits of this game because I was flicking between the Arsenal and Man City games, but and favouring the Arsenal game. But
shock.
But Man City are just not looking impressive to me.
It's not clicking.
No.
They seem to have absolutely no midfield, which is surprising that getting rid of both Jess Park and Jill Roord would mean there's nobody in the middle of the park. Like Laura Blinkilda Brown was just getting overrun constantly. It's not, they need to figure out, I mean, I guess when Grace Clinton comes into the starting lineup, which hopefully will be
soon. I mean, we saw Jess Park today, so you would have thought Grace Clinton shouldn't be too far
away, but like that, I think that needs to happen sooner rather than later, because otherwise it's just, they were getting like passed around the park. I thought Brighton's team play, it was just like the depth, they don't have the same depth. The Commons made a really good point, like Brighton are on a different point of their journey to City, so they can't bring players like Carolyn off the bench, like they fade, and if they haven't put the game to bed, I think that's quite normal. But also like shout out to the Brighton goalkeeper Nadozi from the Super Falcons, first season in WSL, and she was just like such a commanding, a real presence in the box, and you can see already the team have a lot of faith in her. And I think it's really, you know, goalkeeping's always been a bit of a patchy area in the WSL, and it's quite nice now that we're seeing like solid keeper options at more and more teams. Long may it continue.
With the new annoying WSL scheduling, we had 3 games at midday today again. So we've all taken a different selection route. I went for Villa Chelsea with a bit of London City Lionesses and Man U on the side. But yeah, very interesting game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Chelsea looked quite poor.
I thought that.
And I was really, really impressed with how Villa came out. Just like organised, calm, recycling possession well. They had so many chances in the first half.
Who, Villa?
Villa. And it was just so wasteful. Like they were really not clinical at all. Just making poor decisions. And then Chastity Grant picks out beautiful pass for Ebony Salmon, and she just scores. Gorgeous banger. However,
Chelsea.
Chelsea, I mean, Sonia knows what she's doing. She brings on a few players at half time, and Erin Cuthbert, I think, made the difference. Like
she often does, though, doesn't she? Like she's often like a massive game changer for Chelsea.
Yeah, I think she just knew, with her experience, she knew what the game needed and what she needed to do. And since she came on, it was kind of like over for Villa, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, Chelsea obviously scored their chances, as well as the most exciting one of all,
Yes.
Sam Kerr, 20, first goal back after 20 months out.
Her 100th goal.
What a way to
For
do
Chelsea.
it.
Yeah.
That is. I didn't realise that she was on for that. I saw it was like 634 days since she's played.
Yeah. I'm so happy for her. I think that's such a cool way to come back. I mean, it wasn't like a classic Sam Kerr goal.
Yeah.
It was a real fumble, but
No, that
she's
is
on
a
the score
classic
sheet
Sam Kerr
nonetheless.
goal. That's a like, Sam Kerr will get that in the back of the
Poacher.
net, wherever it comes
Yeah.
from. It's like bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
Sam Kerr puts that in the
And
back
also,
of
I think she won't be fussy about what the goal
Nah.
was, just as long as there was one. We all watched a little bit of the London City Lionesses Man
Man U
United game. You know, London City Lionesses here to disrupt.
That
and
was-
it's going swimmingly.
big win for Man U.
Yeah.
That ended 5-1.
So they're now top of the table.
Yeah, top of the table. Again, actually, the post-match interview was really interesting with Jade Riviere talking about because sometimes I think when we talk about Man U, like none of us really like Mark Skinner, and you know they have things like not having boots for a Champions League game, and like
So
it just
funny.
seems like a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
And obviously they've got Jim Ratcliffe, who hates women, but it seems like they, like as a team, have such a good culture and they seem really together. And she was saying how much they draw on that, and that's like their sort of this culture of ruthlessness and grit, but like really being tight with each other. And like for example, they asked her and Melvin Mallard about Jess Park's goal, and they were so happy for her the way that she'd scored that goal. And you could see it on the pitch when Jess Park scored the goal. They were like clapping, lots of the Man U players. But yeah, I mean, so Katie Zellum and Nikita Paris's big return, or big matchup, I should say. Yeah, I think, you know, the Man U backline did look a bit exposed at times, especially during set pieces. I think Fallon Tullis-Joyce really saved them there a couple of times.
That does feel like it's going to be London City Lionesses' route into some of these games. Well, because they still look like 11 players on a pitch rather than a team. They don't feel cohesive.
100%.
But I think they do always look quite dangerous from their set pieces.
Yeah, because they have, like, obviously not necessarily the gelling so far, but they have the quality in the squad to be able to, like, put these good balls in and players to get in dangerous positions. It's just like they need the advantage of that dead ball situation.
Yeah, exactly. They just don't have, like we were saying with Arsenal, those relationships with the partnerships. The same with Man U. Like they just don't have that, obviously, at LCL.
Massively caveating it with the fact that it's been Leicester and London City Lionesses, but I feel like United, they already look amazing, but it feels like they've not even reached like what their top level will be. There's such a fluidity on the pitch between all of them, and there are players still to come back and players still to get to like get up to speed. And it's like, is this the season that it properly clicks for United? I feel like they've always been on the cusp.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I think it's felt like this a few times now with Man U.
True.
And to me, it feels like they just start to lose steam. Like, I don't know. Let's see.
They have a bit more depth this time.
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
I think Jess Park is actually going to be a game changer for them.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't really sure if it was an upgrade on Clinton or not, but the way that she has immediately slotted in.
Yeah.
The game versus Bran, like, obviously they lost 1-0, but she was just kind of running the show. And then today as well.
And I think takes a lot of that playmaking burden off of solely resting on Ella Toon as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like the way they'll get to work together, I think will be really good for United.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what
I'm
they're gonna
also
give us.
excited to see more from Melvin Mallard this season.
Oh, she was brilliant.
Oh, she's just started off the whole season on
start.
such incredible form.
On fire. I thought that, I mean, obviously it was going to be Nikita Paris that scored, wasn't it? But I really enjoyed comms being like, and of course her first goal back was against a former club. It's like, that's half the league.
Yeah.
Like, odds are it was going to be against a former club. Come on now. Like, it's just the law of averages. But yeah, I mean, Michelle Kang didn't look particularly happy when the cameras were cutting to her, did she?
She looked like bloody murder. I'd be scared if I was a London City Lionesses player.
The grand project is not necessarily going to plan so far. See if
No.
Jocelyn survives the season.
Yeah, I think it will It will come.
start to
Yeah,
click. Yeah,
it will be.
It will, but the problem with WSL is there's just not that many games.
No.
So even if it clicks 5th game in, it's gone.
Yeah, I think fully experiencing that in Liverpool at the minute. Thank fuck the women didn't play in this kit, so I could still wear it today as planned. Oh God, that was so. Yeah, Liverpool was the other 12 p.m. kickoff game. A bleak 1-0 loss to Leicester City. Leicester playing at home, and it looked like. I mean, we were all. I just cannot put into words how all over them we were, especially in the first half. We had like 75% possession. Camped out in their half.
Crazy.
Like I think they had maybe one like try. Well, they were trying to do the Everton thing in the first half of like the smash and grab. Didn't work. They had like one attack. We just couldn't turn any of that possession into anything in the final third. They were like so indecisive, and I feel like Gareth Taylor has clearly brought in there like, okay, plan A is we're gonna like control the game. We are gonna control the tempo, and then we will be able to have the quality up front. But it's like, where is that quality coming from? I mean, Kiernan, who you would normally expect to start, isn't starting. We're trying to fit in Beata Olsen, new player, getting scripts of the league. Mia Enderby is still young. It's a lot of pressure to put that like on her shoulders. Like we haven't invested in the quality. We're missing. It's not necessarily we're missing Olivia Smith's goals, even though we're obviously missing those, but we're missing like the bite.
Yeah, and the pace
and the pace and like there was like 2 or 3 moments in the game where we had a player like Kirsty McLean did when she came on late in the game, where like got the ball, ran at the goal, was trying to make something happen, and Leicester immediately like didn't really like couldn't clear the lines. But we're just like content to pass around like the final third and then try and do like one extra pass and losing it. It was just it was
that bit of Gaz Taylor ball.
It's 100% Gaz Taylor ball, and I don't mind if there's like a trigger, and then there is an outlet. But like it's just we cannot. This is now the second game in a row where we've had like all of the ball and done absolutely shit all with it.
Yeah,
and that's just like you said. There's not many games.
No, and also, I mean, I do think that was something that Arsenal were doing in the last kind of 1.5 seasons of having Jonas Eidevall. Yeah. And it does take a player actually like Olivia Smith who doesn't get defeated by a low block. I think so many teams do exactly that and just pass around, but she is one of those players who can find those spaces and does make that stuff happen, and that is so valuable, and they haven't really replaced that.
No.
Yeah, I think for Arsenal, firstly, last season Chloe Kelly coming, and then this season Olivia Smith. It's just been like exactly what they've needed for so long.
Yeah,
just because it was like getting very stale, getting very stationary.
Well, we were barely scoring 2 seasons ago.
Yeah,
and then you have these 2 players who are just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. Chloe Kelly, she's like, I don't care if nothing comes of this, I'm gonna put 10 crosses in the box.
Yeah,
and of course something comes of it. Same with Liv Smith. I don't care if it goes wrong.
I'll keep trying.
I'm gonna run at the goal.
Yeah, I think you really are lacking that, and we were lacking that too, and I think that's a real shame.
Yeah, I was sort of fairly hopeful before the season kicked off, but I am increasingly like, okay, well, we had Everton at Anfield. That is, we know it's a loss. Leicester, like that.
Leicester should not be a loss.
Leicester should not be a loss, and that we've got like these are the games that you'll be looking at thinking, okay, can we get a point? Can we get 3 points?
Yeah.
What the hell are we going to do when we come up against like the more difficult teams in the league? Because we can't play like we can't rely on having possession against teams like Arsenal, teams like Chelsea, because we won't have that possession.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do for goals, guys? What are we gonna do?
Gareth, DM us.
Yeah.
What's the plan?
Gareth, I've got some ideas.
Yeah. And how are you gonna defend out of possession as well? Like,
it's not promising.
Who have you got next weekend?
Villa, who on the basis of their performance today,
good luck.
Could be a veteran.
I thought they looked good. Natalia's got something up her sleeve.
And then the last kickoff today was Everton Spurs, and that was a historic kickoff. Everton women's first game at their new home of Goodison Park, but sadly
Spurs ruined the party.
Yeah, Spurs actually ended up winning 2-0.
Yeah, looked really good value for it. It's like they listened to everything we said last week and were like, yes, that's
Martin Ho, he's tuning in.
Martin Ho, our number 1 listener.
I thought Katinka Tamberg looked really good for Spurs, and I think she's just the energy and the injection that they have needed for such a long time. Not to put pressure on her, but
just save the season.
She was just a bit of a class above, I thought, and she really got the rest of the team. Like, she got Bethany England kind of remembered what she's supposed to be doing on that team.
Well, it's so interesting because, like last weekend, it was like, oh, Bethany England dropping deep was causing problems for Spurs because they had no outlet. But this time it was like she was dragging the Everton defenders out
exactly. And
space.
she was giving space for people to actually do. And then they ended up scoring 2 goals.
Yeah.
Tamberg's goal.
I'm sure we'll come on to it later.
Oh my God.
I'm sure it'll come up later in the...
Unfortunately, it's against my religion to pick a Spurs goal, but oh my God.
Did you hear what Com said about her when she was a kid as well?
Oh,
the first
coming
game
to White Hart Lane.
was the White Hart Lane, and she said one day I'm going to play here.
She was 8, wasn't she?
Yeah, imagine having aspirations.
I know. I thought, okay.
Dream bigger, girl, but also love this for you. I thought Spurs at really good value. I thought Everton really did not, after we were quite, hyped up by Brian Sorensen last season.
By the way, what did you guys think of I know they did it last week, but I wasn't watching the BBC game because we were there. But the live interviewing Brian Sorensen on the touchline.
I hate it.
It was so weird.
Oh, so they really realised they weren't going to get much out of him because they were with him for like 10 seconds.
They were like, okay, but it's
Thanks, Brian.
He's literally trying to watch the game.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing... And we're trying to watch the game.
Yeah.
He's at work.
Yeah.
He's at work.
They cut into the mic like too early and you just heard him shouting instructions. It's like,
where have they... Do they do that in American sport?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely like
it's not for me.
Like in basketball, they're doing all the little breaks.
But that's what I mean. But this wasn't a break,
2 minutes.
though.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
This was just like at 24 minutes.
They were talking about it on Stadio, the podcast. They were having a chat about like just because it's being brought into games and the concept of it. It's like it doesn't add anything because they're not going to give you any kind of insights into the game plan.
No,
they're not also fully engaged with it, and it's taking them out what they're doing. It's like what is the point of this? Like it's not giving you anything added as a fan.
No.
And we can hear Brian well enough without a microphone that cuts to him.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's all the WSL games for this weekend. Because of, again, as Honor alluded to, the scheduling, we didn't actually have time to watch many of WSL2, but just having a quick look at some of the results, and I might have to go back and watch that Crystal Palace Southampton game.
Yeah, 4-4 goal fest.
Which sounds like a classic.
Sounds like a really, really great game. Some good news for Forest as well.
Yeah, I did manage to watch some of the Ipswich Forest game, which turned out to be Nottingham Forest's first win in the WSL2.
Woo!
1-0. Nice, tidy little goal from Spanish player Naikari Garcia, who is turning out to be a great new signing.
Yeah.
I thought Deanne Rose as well looked really, really good, although she did miss a sitter. But yeah, buzzing. I don't know if this is speaks more to the fact that Ipswich obviously are also a promoted side.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe more of an opponent that they're
similar
used
level.
to. Yeah, a similar level. But Forest obviously have strengthened a lot, and I thought they looked like they had the upper hand for most of it.
I mean, the sheer number of draws, 3 draws today. Newcastle drawing against Sheffield United, Sunderland drawing against Birmingham. That's 2 of the big, heavy hitters of the league.
Yeah.
Could be that it feels like it's going to be a lot of opportunities for teams to take points off each other. So I think, I see Forest staying up. Hope for your sake they do too, Honor.
I hope so.
After a weekend full of WSL action, I think it's time for another round of Screamers of the Week, don't you guys? So each week, my Honor and I will pick out the best bangers from across women's football, and we will make the case, put them up on social for you to see, and then you will get to decide on what is the ultimate Screamer of the Week. Last week, the winner, as we knew it would be the moment you said it, was Maya with Olivia Smith.
Thank you very much.
Feels like there's going to be a quite easier route into a number of wins there for you, which we might have to put a limit on the amount of times you can pick an Olivia Smith goal for Arsenal over the course of this season. But as the winner, you get to go first.
Thank you. What I will say is there were so many bangers across the league this weekend. Yeah. But when I saw this one, I decided I was going to choose this one.
Daphne Van Domselaar hitting into her own net.
She got it. And I've decided to stick rather than twist because she's my girl. So it's Alessia Russo against West Ham. Gorgeous assist from Olivia Smith, doing exactly what we've just been saying, of running into space, outrunning the defenders, laying it off to Alessia Russo, who does the most incredible strike to hit the crossbar and has got so much power, it just pings into the goal. And I was just so happy for her because she had worked so hard in that game and does week in, week out. And doesn't always get the flowers that she should get because people think she should just be scoring loads of goals, but don't realise that she is making so much stuff happen on the pitch.
She does so much for the team.
So much. but I thought this was like such a lovely moment for her.
Yeah.
And it was like it was an absolute screamer.
It was. I am going to ration your Arsenal picks though.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I feel like I don't do that many Arsenal picks.
No, you don't. I've had a hard day as a Liverpool fan.
Do you know what? It was the novelty of Olivia Smith last week, and it's like my love for Leslie Russo.
It was on my shortlist. Like it was, and like she doesn't even look as well.
No,
it's just
exactly.
such a pure.
It was
fan.
intuitive, wasn't it?
Also love that Olivia Smith was at the Liverpool game today. Side note, in a
Top
Liverpool
wag.
shirt.
Top wagging.
Top wag.
Top wag. Apparently it had Enderby on the back.
Yeah.
Oh, have you forgiven her a bit then?
I'm starting to think about maybe doing it, which is growth.
If not for her fiance.
What are you choosing, Jessie?
Tamberg's goal for Spurs was incredible, and as a debut goal, it was phenomenal. I think.
What's holding you back?
Holding me back.
Of it all.
The Spurs of it all was holding me back, but also the Jade Rivier's goal was just so good for Man United, and I love a defender goal. A defender screamer is like top tier.
I loved it also because Fran Kirby in the analysis at halftime was like, "No, it's definitely a cross. These are the reasons why it's definitely a cross." And then they asked Jade Riviere at the end. She was like, "No, it was a strike."
Yeah, it was a shot.
No, that was obviously a shot. Yeah.
Like if it was a cross, it was a shite cross that she
Frank
really
Kirby
mishit.
thinks it was a cross.
Yeah, I mean we've definitely seen goals like that in the past. It's like, oh, that was a cross.
Bethany's done
You
a
missed.
few of those.
Yeah, that you definitely mishit. But that one, it was like, no, she meant that as a goal.
It was a great goal.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Jade Rivier's goal against London City Lionesses today.
Nice. I love that goal. Yeah, you guys have mentioned a couple, but I have a short list of 6.
Oh my god.
There were across the WSL and the WSL2, there were just like insane screamers this week.
Something in the water.
And then I know we can't choose the Queen of the Scabs, Aitana Bonmati, but she also scored the most insane goal the other day.
Barcelona fans are going to come for us for calling it that.
Sorry, Jess Park, can't choose you. I've got to go with Ebony Salmon, who, like Maya, that was my instinctive first pick because I saw it first.
Fair.
Yeah. Jess Park's goal was amazing. It's a goal we've seen her do before.
Yeah.
And it's always been amazing, even when she did it at the Emirates.
Yeah.
It's like when you see Claudia Pina goals, isn't it? It's like, oh, all of your goals are so good, but also they're so like the same style each time.
Yeah.
It almost
same with Viv Meadmar.
it almost wears off. I mean, Viv Meadmar, if she chooses to get involved in a game,
Yeah.
which no evidence of that on Friday night.
Big shout out as well to Charlie Devlin for Sheffield United and Megan Collett for Saints. They've both had unreal screamers today. So everybody get your eyes on WSL2.
Yeah.
They are bringing out the bangers.
Lots of bangers there. Also, I had another one of my continental picks, which didn't end up on my
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. Amira Alfari from Werder Bremen was just like a phenomenal, probably about like 30 yards out, smashes it bottom corner. But I've realised that actually camera angles really help in the Screamers of the Week competition, and it was like the blurriest pixelated footage you've ever seen. So go with Jade Riviere. So we will put the clips, if you haven't seen them, we'll put them up on Instagram for you to take a look at, and then you can vote on Instagram stories and on Spotify for the Screamer of the Week. But from Maya we have
Alessia Russo versus West Ham.
From Anna we have
Ebony Salmon versus Chelsea.
And I've gone with Jade Riviere versus London City Lionesses.
So the Ballon d'Or ceremony is next Monday. And for those who don't know, it's a French award that's kind of, I would say, the most prestigious football award awarded to the best footballer of the previous season, essentially. I mean, obviously, it's always very controversial.
Yes.
It's often awarded to attacking players.
Yep.
It's voted on by journalists. And I think the women's Ballon d'Or specifically is quite controversial. I think so. It started in 2018. There's only been 6 editions so far.
Compared to something like 70 for the men.
Yeah, I think the men started in the 50s or something, which obviously is not a great starting point. 4 of those 6 have been won by Bonmati and Alexia Putellas.
Yep.
One of Alexia Putellas' seasons, she actually had barely played.
Yeah, you look back at the early stages. They had to.
She had an ACL injury.
Yeah, they had to change the voters for the women's one because it was just like the same people who voted on the men's Ballon d'Or.
Who had no idea.
It was just men's journalists naming players. Megan Rapinoe, like, bless her, obviously incredibly important footballer, but by the time she was making top 3 in the Ballon d'Or shortlist, it's like,
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
And 2023 and 2024, also the ceremonies were scheduled during a women's international window. So one of those years, only 7 of the 30 women who were nominated could actually go. I think Georgia Stanway's been quite vocal about it. Lucy Bronze has. Serena Wiegman has. And also, they've only ever done one award for the women, whereas for the men, they've always done Young Player of the Year and also Goalkeeper. This year, they're actually doing those two, which is great. And it's not during a women's international window. So, that is progress.
It's definitely It would have been nice. I mean, so the Goalkeeping Award is named, it's the Yashin Trophy for the men. It would have been nice if, like, the equivalent women's award had been named after a similarly iconic women's goalkeeper, but knowing the state of the Ballon d'Or, they've named it like after Hope Solo. So
well, this is the thing. I know Beth Mead definitely said that she felt like a few years ago she said she felt like the Ballon d'Or women was kind of like a box ticking exercise, and I have to say they're not doing a lot to refute the allegation.
No,
but here we are.
Here we are.
Here we find ourselves
with the 30 strong shortlist.
So just to quickly look at the Copper Trophy and the Ashen Trophy.
Yep.
So the Copper Trophy is for the Young Player of the Year. And those nominees are Michelle Aguiman, Vicky Lopez, Linda Caicedo, Claudia Martinez Ovando, and Vika Captain.
I love Vika Captain getting on that shortlist. She won't win.
No.
Because she's not like, she doesn't score the big goals. Like, she's not that kind of player. But I think that's a really cool shout to be on that list.
Yeah, I agree.
Whereas, like, obviously we are all massive fans of Linda Caicedo, but it's like kind of, okay, like I'm not surprised they put her on there. I think maybe is one of the highest profile young players, so it would have been weird if she wasn't on the list, but I also don't think it's looking at the state of women's football that much. I can't actually call who'll win it.
No,
really.
neither.
No.
I'd love Michelle Aguiman to win it.
If Colombia had won the Copa America, I think Linda Caicedo would have won it. Definitely. I think that would be a hands down kind of.
Maybe she still will. She is so high profile, and sometimes that is how this award goes.
Yeah. Depends on them if they really feel like punishing Real Madrid writ large after none of them went because the men's team didn't get the results they wanted last time. But I feel like you can make an argument for all those 5, really, can't you?
I agree. And then the Yashin Trophy for goalkeeping is Anne-Katrin Berger, Hannah Hampton, Katakoi, Chiamaka Nnadozie, and Daphne Van Domselaar. I think you could make a case for any of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe less so. Oh, I was going to say Anne-Katrin, but actually she did really well at the Euros.
I mean, it's for that save alone. That save alone against France.
Yeah.
Which probably means actually she probably won't win the trophy. I would love it to not be Katakoi because I just think Liga F is not competitive enough throughout the league that I think actually it's as impressive.
Yeah.
And in the World Cup year, 100%, like you could understand Katakoi having won it in the year that Spain won the World Cup, but like they didn't win the Euros. She also didn't play all of the games in the Euros because she was through illness. So it's like I'm not 100% sure.
I think you're right, actually. I think Nnadozie, Hampton, and Van Domselaar have a really good claim on that trophy.
I feel like it should be Hampton, to be honest, with the amount of penalty saves in the Euros
and
as
the
well
league.
as saves, and then obviously Golden Glove.
Yeah. I think it'll probably be Hampton. I think Nnadozie would be the bold choice, which I can't see him taking because of a great record in WAFCON this year.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be so cool if it was Hannah Hampton.
Yeah, it would be so cool and so well deserved as well.
Yeah.
So then back to the Ballon d'Or itself.
Yep.
So 5 Lionesses are nominated.
Yes.
Leah Williamson, Lucy Bronze, Alessia Russo, Chloe Kelly, and Hannah Hampton.
Yep.
Guys,
and Hannah Hampton's the only goalkeeper nominated for the actual Ballon d'Or, right?
Yeah.
Mad.
Go on, Anne.
So there are 30 nominees and we're not going to read them all out, but
there's some stinkers on that list.
There are. Who wants to make their case?
Well, I mean, I think I've made it already clear that I don't think it should be a Barcelona player. I think, World Cup year, fine, 100% got their Bonmati win. I see a lot of Barcelona fans online say that, like, well, look at the amount of goals they both scored, look at the amount of assists. It's like the Ballon d'Or is not a goals and assists competition.
Yeah.
The league is not competitive enough that I think you have to show a level of like graft that other players, not necessarily just players who play in the WSL, but like I just think there's an element of like, I don't know, not having the scales so obviously in your favour in terms of like the setup of your team within the league you are, that the Barcelona players have. And it's not said they're not phenomenal players, but I think it's kind of boring if it goes to one of those two again.
Yeah, I agree.
I think as well a big weight of it is like winning international competitions. So as a Barcelona player and a Spanish player,
They haven't.
they haven't.
They haven't this year,
Yeah. It's very true. One Spanish player who has, though, who I think will definitely be in the mix, is Mariana Caldente.
Yeah.
I think she'll absolutely be.
I would be so happy if she won. I think it'd be really well deserved.
I think it would be really well deserved. I mean, I know Spain obviously didn't win the Euros, but I think what Mariana has done there was no adjustment period coming into WSL, came in straight, like, and just got on with it immediately. But like,
can I tell you some WSL stats that I found for her that are insane?
Yeah.
So she was first for shot creating actions, progressive passes into the penalty area, and expected assists last season. Like, that's insane.
That is mad. But here's the thing, I think the impact she's had, not in a way that it felt like the Caldente show. It wasn't like Arsenal became all about her, but she came in and raised the level. I think that is the impact that she's had, not like beyond the stuff that she did herself with the football. That Arsenal team's level all raised to meet her.
And it's insane that she kind of, because when she was at Barcelona, she didn't obviously fly under the radar, but she wasn't one of their star players.
No.
She's come over here, and like you say, she has been such a cut above, but she's brought everyone up to her level. That's how we won the Champions League.
Yeah. And I think that is a really difficult thing to do as a player who is a fantastic player. Like, you see that sometimes in like star players who are at level above and they just then become what everyone relies on. It's very hard to like inspire everybody in the team to sort of like play out their best and consistently. I mean, obviously Arsenal had some games that were like a little bit, the run up to the Champions League, there were some games that was like, oh, this could be a fun trip to Lisbon. But like, I think you can make a case for Alessia Russo in a similar level.
That was for me, I think it deservedly and I know I'm an Arsenal fan, but Alessia Russo and Mariana Caldente. Alessia Russo, on paper, winning the Champions League, winning the Euros, the amount of work she does off the ball, the amount of work, like her stats across the pitch. She's so creative. She's such a good team player. She's such a hard worker. She's such a talent and hard worker. And I think her, like, the results that she's had over the past season are sort of second to none. So
if it was going to go to a Barcelona player, the player I'd like it to go to would be Payol.
I also would be happy if it went to Patry.
Yeah.
I think Patry's a bit like the Kira Walsh vibe, and Kira Walsh never got recognised.
No. Players like that don't. It's like Yui Hasegawa never gets recognised for how incredible she is.
Well, does she? I think that's true.
Not in the same way of like...
Okay, a striker or something. Yeah. But so I would be happy if it was Patry, because I think Patry is such an important playmaker for Barcelona, and she's who allows Putellas to be Putellas, really, on the pitch.
She unlocks both of those teams.
Exactly. So...
I must admit, she did lose a lot of my respect for her blatant dive against Michelle Adjiman in the Euros final.
Yeah, I mean, this is not about that I really want Patry to win. It's just I know the football journalists can't resist a Spanish player for the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
But let it be Caldente.
We'll see. I mean, I would go Payol. Just I think the level she was operating at such a great level before she moved to Barcelona, and like the it's one where like I think stats shouldn't play a huge part in the argument, but like the stats don't lie for how like she's raised her level again. Obviously, has like been such an instrumental figure for Poland this year and like taking them to their. I mean, obviously there's a lot of people in the Poland setup, but like helping take that team to their first major tournament. I think you can make a really strong case of like the narrative of the year for her.
I think it's really difficult, isn't it? And I think this is one of the things that people sometimes criticise the Ballon d'Or for, which is that it's hard to judge individual performances in a team sport. And then that is like a way in which she's just not on a level playing field, because all the Spanish players and all the English players have had the chance to get to a final because of also all the players around them.
Yeah.
Whereas for her, like, she maybe doesn't have the same kind of glittering season because she plays for Poland and they're just not as advanced as England and Spain and some of the other countries that players are coming from.
Yeah.
But I agree, she's a great player.
I don't think she'll win, and I wouldn't want her to win, but I really hope Marta makes top 5.
Yeah, I was about to say, what a summer for her, what a season. She never stops.
Exactly.
And she just keeps surprising us.
They should start a new prize. Maybe they should do a Marta prize.
That's the best goal, isn't it?
No, I mean like
I
meant more like an old
Marta award.
Old player award. like an over,
Golden oldies.
yeah, like an over 35.
Louis Walsh's category for footballers.
But that's guys, thinking about that being over 25s. The Louis Walsh one, the X Factor one.
I know, that is actually so
Yeah, it's
weird.
awful.
The
when you think back to it,
old
isn't it? Yeah.
people one. Over
Decrepit
25s.
hags. I think it is mad that she's still doing it. That like she
deserves something just for that.
yeah. Yeah, but like, I mean, my knees are just getting out of bed. How is she running around playing,
Honestly.
all of that football? But hey, the Copper final was just like, pure Marta brilliance. And I really, in the way that often I think it is a recency bias in these awards as well. Like that will probably help her. I wouldn't want her to win, but I think top 5.
Yeah.
No, Ballon d'Or, Marta for me.
And who's that player at Hibs? I'm surprised she's not.
And Kathleen McGovern.
You're going to do a write-in for that.
So with all of this Ballon d'Or chat flying around, a few people in our lives have been talking about it, especially Cassie, who brought up the very interesting question of who would be your BEGOT winner, which for those who don't know is Ballon d'Or, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar and Tony.
I love the way you said for those who don't know as if it's a genuine thing.
If you didn't know.
You don't know what the BEGOT is.
Most of the time people obviously talk about the EGOT, which is the 4 awards. But I love the way Cass decided to throw Ballon d'Or in the mix. And can we come up with a player who could pull off all 5? Maybe. First of all, I think let's go through the individual awards and see who we would put up for each of those, or we think could win. And then at the end, we can pick our all-rounder BEGOT winners.
I actually had so much fun trying to think of some people for this.
It's so hard, but really fun. Let's go for Emmy, who...
We've done B already, right?
We've done B already, yeah.
Yeah,
true.
we've done B already. Okay, I had a couple of options for Emmy. I think, number 1, I know Lotte Woods-Moy has an incredible like documentary or docu-series in her.
Ooh,
yeah.
okay,
Like,
nice.
I'm not going for like I'm not going for like a Succession type dramatic win. I'm going for like, and I just think Lotte would do a really cool, like I don't know what it would be on, but there's like a really engaging, captivating documentary. Tooney and Russo, some kind of like buddy workplace comedy, Parks and Rec kind of vibe.
Parks and Rec.
Like that kind of, there's something silly in there. And I don't know what Casper would do, but she's too much of a showman to not have an Emmy.
You're so right about Casper, yeah.
I've got her as something else, actually.
Oh, okay.
I've got her as Tony award-winning.
Yeah, I considered that.
Because I just thought, the Tinder campaign that her and her girlfriend did?
Yeah.
So true.
That it was so campy that I was like, this
Put that on
woman
stage.
belongs in musical theatre.
Yeah. And just like, she's such a ridiculously over
And
the
she'd
top.
just be up for it, wouldn't she?
She would, yeah. She'd have a laugh.
Anyway, back to my Emmy. I've actually gone down a similar route, unsurprisingly, for a documentary maker.
Yep.
But I actually thought it'd be Fallon Tullis-Joyce doing like nature docs.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, you're
And
so
I think
smart.
she'd be really, really good because she's obviously can dive.
Yeah.
So she could actually be there diving in the water and then coming up and doing her like piece to camera.
She'd be like the new David Attenborough.
Yeah, new improved David
I mean, they've
Attenborough.
got a
New
succession.
improved.
In my notes it says the next Attenborough.
I'd love to see
Wow.
David Attenborough field, 90 minutes in goal.
Exactly. So yeah, mine's Fallon Tullis-Joyce for the Emmy. What about you, Anna?
So I've gone down more of a kind of comedy reality TV route and gone with Tuva Hansen.
Yeah.
Nice.
She brings the chaos, she brings the laughs, and I think she could make something
Like a stand-up
very
special.
entertaining. Yeah, maybe a stand-up special.
Live at the Apollo.
Yeah.
Or like, when SNL wins like Emmys for like some of their like musical like spoof videos, like that kind of thing. She could do that kind of thing.
Or like pranks.
Oh, like
You got so serious as you looked at me and said that.
what's that show that
I don't
Ashton
know why.
Kutcher used to
Pranks.
do? Didn't Ashton Kutcher used to do a prank show?
Oh, punked.
Punked.
Yeah.
Tuva Hansen's winning an Emmy for her version of Punked.
Okay, Grammy.
I went kind of route 1. It's a bit boring, but Michelle Adjiman.
That was mine.
Good, and her.
Oh,
who's
playing the
piano.
piano.
That
Yeah.
was mine as well.
Okay, well, I have gone route Z. And it's
The famous routes, route 1 and route Z.
It's our favourite vocalist, Georgia Stanway.
Love. I did consider her,
Jess is gone.
Goes low when you think she's going to go high. There's several beats away.
Oh,
Anna?
God. Well, I did also go for Michelle Adjiman, but I have
yes.
a backup option, which is think back a couple of seasons ago.
Loving how you're posed.
to a gorgeous clip that was released online of none other than Leah Williamson, accompanied by Jen Beattie on the guitar.
No, please.
Singing.
No, I can't.
Maybe it could be a Leah and Jen like.
She also learned the
acoustic.
piano. Remember, she learned Shania
She
Twain.
did the piano, yeah, with the orchestra.
Yeah.
There we
Okay,
go.
good shout.
Okay.
That is 100% going to be like Arsenal's next campaign, isn't it? They'll be like Leah and Michelle doing a really slow version of North on the Forever on the piano.
I don't think even I could stomach that. Okay, Oscar.
Lauren Hemp, set design / props.
Okay, love.
okay.
You've gone rogue.
Yeah.
I was just thinking acting, but I like that.
I was like, I can't think of any reasons, like genuine reasons to sew any of these acting things. I was like, who dives a lot? And I was like, no, I'm just going to piss off an entirely new group of fans.
Yeah.
But I was like, all of their Lego stuff and like has such a creative eye for like building all of that. I was like,
Really good point.
That's so
Yeah.
smart.
Really good point.
Wow. I don't know if I have a real reason for this. I just have a feeling in my heart. But for me, the Oscar goes to Anne Katzenberger. I just think she's full of feeling
with her new
with her new haircut.
newer haircut as
She
well.
looks so like incredibly serious and gorgeous.
in like a gritty sort of
A
1980s
gritty,
East
yeah.
Berlin.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I
Cold
think
War
like
epic.
a serious kind of amazing Oscar nominated drama.
Yeah.
Anne Katzenberger is the
Nice.
main guy.
Nice.
Mine is Best Supporting Actress, Miss Chloe Kelly.
Okay.
She would be...
Not the main character?
Well, no, because I actually don't know how three-dimensional her sort of character acting would be.
Yeah, not very.
But she would be kind of like the sort of sidekick in like a sort of detective series.
Yeah.
I see.
And I think, she's so good at putting on a front and like...
I feel like she's got quite good one-liners.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think she can play the hard man. Like she does it in her goal celebrations.
She is a hard man.
She's
yeah.
cold as
Yeah.
ice. And that's what you need from a detective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's she?
Gritty drama.
Who's her non-Oscar winning main actress that she's the foil to?
Really, really good question. I think it would probably be... Oh, fuck, what's her name? Saran Jones.
Love.
Okay.
Sure. And if she's not available, Keely Hawes.
yeah, exactly. You know the type.
Yeah, that kind of vibe.
Okay, we're on to Tony's. I've already told you mine. It's Kirsten Kasperai playing Nancy and Oliver.
I feel like Kirsten Kasperai could be like Willy Wonka though. Don't you see her like...
The thing is, she's so good that she could do anything. Any role could be hers.
Okay, I'm convinced.
Yeah. I would love to see her like
For me,
take on
it's as
everything.
long as he needs me. That's Kirsten.
Keep going. I'm not sure I know it.
No, sorry,
Give us
wait.
another few bars.
What was it?
Nancy.
Can you do it?
I'm not doing anymore.
I'm a bit torn because I think my Tony could also be my all-rounder. I'll give a special shout out to Vivi Assayi, who I thought could be a Tony winner. Again, kind of an Oliver situation. But I think I'm envisioning her, Sally Bowles, it's Ella Toon.
Yeah, I'm amazed you didn't choose Ella Toon, Jessie. I didn't choose her because I thought you guys would choose her for everything.
I thought it was too obvious to choose her for that, and I would have said her in a similar reason to like Casper. I think she could do a lot of roles.
Yeah.
But the specific idea of Ella Toon as Sally Bowles didn't once enter my head, and it's fucking brilliant.
Like, she's got the voice. She's got, like, I don't know if you guys have heard her karaoke.
She can actually sing.
She
Yeah.
can fucking belt.
Yeah.
I don't know about the acting, but she can be loud. She can be amazing.
Yeah.
I just think she's got it.
Yeah. I could see Toonie as Sally Bowles.
I can. Okay, so let's do our BEGOT.
Well, I did pick her. I mentioned her for the Emmy, but my BEGOT is Toonie, I think.
Yeah, she's my BEGOT.
Mine is Fallon.
Fair. Love. I think you're right. Fallon could do it all.
I think she can do it all. She contains multitudes.
I think
Yeah.
she might even be well, no, this is a crazy thing to say, that she's a more likely Ballon d'Or winner than Ella Toon, but
Possibly.
who knows? One incredible season.
Yeah,
USA World Cup winning.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. I think you're right. I do think probably more likely to win it than Ella Toon.
Yeah, unless we see some like serious form from Ella Toon in the next 3 years.
Yeah, this is your motivation.
Yeah, let's see.
Ella, I want to see the Ballon d'Or followed by the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar and Tony.
No pressure, girly.
Same
Give
to
us
you, Fallon.
all 5.
And before we go, should we take another check-in on the Woso community notice board, see what's been happening in the past week? Who's got something to add?
I think the most important thing to add this week is that Alessia Russo has made it and has now got a Wagamama red card.
Whoa.
I know.
That's a big deal.
£500 a month.
I didn't realise that they were a thing. Obviously, everyone knows about the Nando's black card from back in the day.
Yeah, I think this might be new.
Wow.
Just for Alessia.
That's the only one I've seen, and she's buzzing about it.
What else could she possibly be other than buzzing?
Yeah, exactly.
She didn't say she was buzzing in her post-match actually.
I did see that.
I was like, I think we might need to perform a wellness check. Is this definitely Alessia Russo?
She just said she was like really happy.
Yeah.
I was like, and?
And what else?
You're missing a word.
Say it. Go on, say it.
Say the line. Go on, do the line. Oh, happy for her. Do you reckon she'd take the whole team out, or is it all for her?
£500 a month. Come on, less like.
That's only like 15 meals. It's quite expensive, Wagamama. Maybe 20 meals.
Yeah, only 20 meals in a month. There's 30 days in a month.
No,
like,
but the whole
for
squad
yourself,
is bigger than
yeah.
20 people.
Oh, you don't have to take the whole squad. Like you can be selective.
Yeah.
You can take like 4 people.
Yeah, I wasn't
I'm sure
envisioning
she'll
taking
do
the
that.
entire squad out.
She'll definitely take at least 4 people.
At least 4.
If I know
she's not
Leslie.
having like Wagamama on her own 20 times.
You never know with these footballers.
They are strange.
They love routine.
They are a strange bunch. I've got a couple of things to add, but first one, it was actually last weekend, but I didn't see it until after we recorded. But Sarit Binning, who is the captain of the under-16s England team, I think. She's the first Sikh player, England men or women at any age level, to captain the team. And she made her Wolves senior women's debut behind closed doors, unfortunately, because there was an issue at the stadium. But I was like, that's incredible and just like massive milestone. But then I saw a tweet from Dan McNamara, who's the manager of Wolves women, and he said 8 years ago a tiny 8-year-old told me she was going to play for the women's first team. Seems she was right, earned a place on the pitch today and showed her quality. Well done, Sarit, proud to play a part in your journey. And I was like,
that's so nice.
Such a cool, and like, and it's similar with Tamberg today, the Spurs thing, like all these like journeys of these players having these moments of like coming back to something that was like their dream as a kid. It's so cool.
It's
so
amazing.
Cool.
And I think she's just got a huge, like, I mean, sky's the limit, really, sounds like, for Sarit. So
really exciting.
Sure, she'll crop up many more times in the podcast in the future.
I hope so. Also, Louis Vuitton has become Real Madrid's fashion partner.
Bougie.
I did see that. Yeah.
They're getting the iconic holdalls, the suits. Linda Caicedo's going to look fleeky.
I've seen the suits. I've seen them all.
They're
the suits.
nice.
They look lovely.
Do they wear them to? Is it like they wear them to every game, or is it?
I think they wear them to the pre-match. Or at least they did, the one that I saw.
Yeah.
I don't know
feel
if
like
it's
every league game, like with how many games are in Liga FA, like that's too many days to be wearing a suit.
Yeah, but they can't like save it for finals because then they never wear it.
Yeah.
Speaking of fashion, do you see that Mary Fowler's going to be walking the runway at Paris Fashion Week?
So cool.
Oh my God,
So
yeah.
she should.
Yeah.
And I heard that she's getting a $10 million sponsor deal from one of Nike, New Balance, or like Puma or something.
Wow.
I don't know which one.
Get it,
but
Mary.
Yeah.
$10 million.
That must be like up there with the biggest ones ever, surely.
Yeah.
Surely.
I think so.
That's massive.
Mental.
Go on, Maz. Did you see, you often bring up their show on us, so maybe you might have seen it, but Tobin Heath and Kristen Press talking on the recap show. And I saw the clip, I didn't listen to the episode, so I don't know what the full context was, but they were talking about Man United. And because obviously Tobin and Kristen both played at Man U, and then Tobin Heath came to Arsenal, and everyone thought, oh, she's that hardcore Arsenal girl. But Tobin said that she loved Man U and would have stayed there if the club matched the ambitions of the players. And that's like such a recurring thing that's coming up.
Wow.
And like, you know, it was in Grace Clinton's statement.
Yeah.
It was in Mary Epps's statement, like when she left. Like, it's such a, you're letting all these incredible players leave because the club just doesn't match the ambition of the players. But I thought that was so interesting because no one ever really thought that they were like locked in to United. So
that is interesting. And also it's a shame because that was a good few years ago now. And Man U still, and like you say, Mary Earps was a few years after that. And since then, they got Jim Ratcliffe, who has been really vocal about not supporting the women's team.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're going backwards.
Yeah.
Despite, like I was saying earlier, Jade Riviere and Melvin Mallard talking about how great like the team itself is within each other. But that's such a shame because it's like they're working at odds with kind of the bigger framework that they're in, which is just like after a while that would just get grating, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm not surprised they will get pissed off.
Mm.
I had one last thing, which was our fave, Tuva Hansen, dropped another one of her ridiculous TikToks where on the Bayern bus, as I don't know if they're to or from a game, she goes around and asks all of the players, when was the last time you kissed somebody?
Love.
And they all answered.
They all answer, but some of them are very much like looking at her like, you are airing me out for the fact that I'm so single. Or on the flip side, there was definitely a few who did not want to answer that.
And I'm like, you 20 minutes ago.
You don't have to answer it. But Lena Oberdorf is like looking at the camera like, really does not want to answer. You're not on the stand. Like, you're not under oath. You don't have to answer. She sort of stares down to her behind the camera like, yeah, I guess this morning. Yeah. It's like she so clearly doesn't want to answer.
So juicy.
I need to go and watch it.
Well, someone asked then in the comments, did you do this on the bus? And none of them could escape. And Tuva's like, yeah. I know what I'm about.
Perfect. I loved the player. I didn't know who she was, but who was like, oh yeah, like a year and a half. I was like, oh baby.
Yeah, it's like the range of answers is so funny.
So funny.
I want there to be someone in all of the clubs in the WSL to do that.
To do it, yeah.
Just because of the
Let's
chaos.
hope it catches on.
That is all we've got time for on Screamers this week, but come back next week where Maya and I will be catching up on all the latest WSL action. But until then,
follow us across Instagram, TikTok and YouTube at screamers_pod, or you can send us an email at screamerspod@gmail.com.
And please follow, rate and review wherever you're listening to us right now so we can reach even more Woso fans.
Bye.
ciao.